However crazy it might sound, you can actually buy an entire town. These places once had life in them. Over the years, they became abandoned. Forgotten towns are creepy, I admit, but they also look cool. There are thousands of ghost towns for sale in the US alone. Their condition varies. Some still have a few people living there, others have been deserted for decades. The idea of owning a town sounds great, especially after hearing the shockingly reasonable prices. But in practice, it's not a piece of cake. As you can guess, buying a town is a little different than buying a house. Towns are considered unincorporated. That means they aren't part of a local government. So, good luck getting a loan from a bank. To buy a regular house, you can get a mortgage. But for a $200,000 ghost town, banks won't decide in your favor. Still, the fact that you can buy a town is exciting. Let's say you have the money and you'll go for it. You should consider that many of these places lack amenities, like no running water, electricity, or other basic things. Plus, there's a safety issue. Many structures in ghost towns had been constructed before the times when safety codes were invented. For example, in Utah, a town is on sale for $199,000. Yes, the buildings in this ghost town aren't in good condition, but it has a future. The new owner can turn it into a tourist spot. What if the town was haunted and some paranormal activities occurred there, which made its inhabitants leave? There are many stories about ghost towns. Potential buyers have to keep looking for the best price. It can drop to as low as $70,000. A town named Swansea in California was sold for this price in 2013. Why are these towns for sale? The reasons vary. For example, companies in Canada would build places for their employees working in gold or silver mines and their families. Sometimes these types of mining towns had over 5,000 inhabitants. Eventually, natural resources would run out and residents would move to other places. Years later, such towns would show up in real estate listings. Sweat in South Dakota is a famous ghost town for sale. The buyer will get not only the land and houses, but also a tavern, a gas station, and a local store. Now, let's take a closer look at these places that can spark your interest. Arezzo is a village in Italy. Barbara Farisi's family began buying houses in this town around 30 years ago. Over time, they've united all 18 houses into one connected structure. It's a maze of bedrooms, kitchens, hidden stairways, and more. The structure is historical, so when they needed to renovate some parts, they used materials such as old stone and wood to preserve the historical nature of the complex. When they first started buying the place, only 2 elderly people were living in the area. Now, the whole village belongs to Varese and her family. The houses have wells, old ceilings, and original floors from centuries ago. They've even converted an old wooden barn into a banquet hall and stone stables into a lounge. Here's a glimpse of what a ghost Spanish village on sale looks like. Scenic landscapes, some history, and development opportunities are mixed together in this rural town with a name I can't pronounce. This one has 3 historic rustic stone residences constructed a century ago. Unfortunately, they aren't in good shape, so a lot of work is needed to bring them back to their glorious days. Yet this effort will be worth it because they offer plenty of space. The biggest house is larger than 3,000 square feet. The second one is almost as big as the first one, and the last one is around half their size. I feel like this town has some potential to turn into boutique holiday home rentals. I mean, the place has character. It has 2 century-old granaries, a fountain, and a stone oven. The area is surrounded by rolling fields, lush woodlands, and flat plains. Plus, the village is around 15 miles away from mesmerizing coastal towns and famous attractions. Now, do I sound like I'm promoting the place? Nah, I just like it. Maybe you want to buy a town so you can be a mayor. I respect that too. Would you prefer this one that looks frozen in time? Pierce is in Arizona. It was built by a man named John James Pierce. He arrived there and mined gold nearby. It was so casual. Imagine tending your cattle, lifting up rocks from the ground, and finding gold. This is what happened to him. His life changed overnight. The news about the gold spread at the speed of light. Well, almost. This led to the construction of the town. When the calendar showed 1895, the town was officially founded. In no time, Pierce became one of the richest gold mines in Arizona. Naturally, the town flourished and grew to accommodate the newcomers. There was a blacksmith, restaurants, and a butcher. You could also find a livery, hotels, saloons, and even an attorney's office there. All of these are included in the sales price. You can also get what's inside the general store, which is now over 125 years old. You will probably manage to sell the antiquities you'll find there and cover some of the fees. So how did this town turn into an abandoned place? Well, by 1927, mining at Pierce had lost its popularity. Then the mine was finally closed down in the 1940s. Today, the site is looking for its new owner. Next up, we have Wild West Town, and yes, this is its real name. It's in Colorado, and as the name suggested, it offers a unique Wild West setup. It's not just the amenities and the vibe that makes this town special. This town was actually in use on and off for years. Since it wasn't abandoned for many years, the conditions there are pretty good compared to other towns on my list. Now it's on sale again, hoping to find the next owner. This property is located on Blair Street at the base of the San Juan Mountains. In the past, this area was frequented by miners looking for late-night refreshments and activities. The square used to have a saloon, hotel, general store, post office, and jail. Today, well-preserved historic buildings house various artisan businesses. The property includes 2 operating commercial buildings, 3 rental spaces, and 1 storage building. One of the buildings now operates as an old-school photography studio. There's also a 2-bedroom residential unit above the Emporium gift shop, built in 2005, which is currently used as a vacation rental. The property also features the original 1875 San Juan County Courthouse and the Swanee's Old Mine Sluice, where tourists can try their luck at panning for gold and gems. There's so many examples to mention, like this small medieval hamlet named Saraval. It's located between 2 Italian cities, Modena and Bologna. The village is from the 9th century. You get a castle there, literally a 3-story 18th century stately home. What else? A woodshed, a 4-floor lookout tower that was built in the 1220s, and a majestic park. I should mention that there are even deals on websites like Craigslist or eBay for potential town buyers. There's an important point here that you should pay attention to. You should check the fine print before you make the purchase. Sometimes a village or town needs an influx of cash. In this case, the deal and the ownership you will get will be purely ceremonial. Think of it like receiving the key to the city. The best you will get out of this deal can be a nice plaque or a monument in the town square as a thank you gift. Kinda interesting, huh? Maybe your new pastime activity will be looking for ghost towns for sale even though you're not going to buy one. That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.